Good day everyone, this is another interesting documentary of how rice farm is being done. Okay, this is not rice process, but this is rice farm. Here they are tilling the land. So after tilling this land this way, this rice now, I applied chemical in it to avoid birds from feeding on the land. So I have to spray this rice that I mix with chemical in this land already that I've already tilled it. So after some days, you can see the rice is already germinating. It's already germinating to show you that the bird didn't feed in this rice. Understand? It's growing well. This is after some weeks when the rice have already germinated. You can see my worker is applying chemical on it. This chemical will help it to kill some unwanted grass from growing on the rice. You understand? So you can see how this rice is looking so good and very neat, and bird didn't feed on it. So after here, you gotta see some days where the rice have already grown well. As you can see how this rice is looking so greenish and looking so well. I actually came here to supervise on how the growth of the rice is growing, like it's going. You can see me in the farm. Actually come for inspection today. I didn't come for work. This is for just inspection. And see some weeks, like this is some months. I guess this is the time. Yes, I've already is due for harvesting. 3 months is due for harvesting. You can see this is the period of harvesting. That is my work at the harvesting. Understand? I actually dropped my knife to show you how the thing is being harvested. That's what we call, there's a small knife you use to cut it. After cutting it from edges, we pack it in a way that it can help us for threshing. Actually, I know that I'm using what we call human power here, manual. I do everything I'm doing here manually, because I know that with time I'm still going to have all these machines that will help me for easy and faster production. What I'm doing here is what we call human power. So me still in the farm during the time for the rice harvesting. If I'm using what we call rice threshing, it will be easier for me to produce rice. So I'm urging, maybe one day, I know that maybe one day government will see what I'm doing, if they can see all this kind of thing and look into it. Understand? What am I trying doing here today is what we call rice harvesting. So this is me now. This is what we actually initial stage where the rice threshing will start. This thing I'm actually doing here, what I'm doing is that I'm separating the rice from these sticks. To just watch, sometimes I'll show you guys the rice. I'm actually separating the rice from the sticks. That's also what I'm doing here. But what I'm using here is what we call human power. If I should use the machine called rice threshing, all this work should be easier and faster for me. But every day I come here, I spend from morning 6 a.m. till evening 5 a.m. sometimes 5 p.m. sometimes I spend like 6 p.m. here. Actually, see, I'll show you guys the rice now. This is the rice. You can see that is rice. After I'll pack all these things out and now take this rice home for what we call rice processing. But here, what I show you guys is what we call rice farming. This is what we call rice farming, from the initial stage to the last stage. So after here, what I'm going to go is go to what we can go and process the rice.